What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my next video. Welcome to another next chapter review. Today we're going to be reviewing chapter 1027, 1027, and this chapter was very good. I still think I liked the last chapter a little better. For me, there were some interesting parts, just like it was only like specific moments that I found interesting. The rest of it was kind of average to me personally. But anyway, we start off with Nekomamushi. We see that he's alive. He doesn't know what happened, which I actually forgot about that when you turn Sulong. I guess like you lose your memory after. So we get confirmation that like he defeated Perespero. We see his tongue sticking out of him. Is Perespero dead? Probably not, I'm assuming, because if Big Mom makes it to Elbaf, which that would make sense because it is her home, like it's where she's from. It would make sense for her to be there, although there is also the theory that Shanks will be there, which I also am kind of a believer in. So who knows, maybe Big Mom will go down this chapter, or not this chapter, this arc. But anyway, Perespero, he's down for the count for now, will probably live. Yeah, unless like no character has said that Perespero's dead, so he's probably not dead. But anyways, we find out that Momonosuke is able to fly now, which is pretty cool. And in One Piece world, I guess dragons can't fly, which Yamato says that so matter-of-factly, as if dragons like an entire different like species. It's like, oh yeah, obviously dragons can't fly, when it's actually probably only Kaido who flies that method. But yeah, they make clouds to use as footholds, which is crazy. I'm gonna have to like go back to certain chapters and see if Kaido's like on a foothold whenever he's flying in the air. And apparently he's gonna have to try to like counteract Kaido's like clouds with his own clouds, and like that'll be it's a stalemate in and of itself. And so this chapter was pretty much a setup chapter for that plot line. They set up that entire plot line of Momonosuke having to stop Onigashima, because from the flower capital is in very close proximity, and I think Yamato said what, 5 minutes Onigashima is going to reach the flower capital in 5 minutes, meaning that, well, I guess that would be without Momonosuke pushing it back. Because I'm thinking maybe like, what if they spend next like 50 chapters and it's only like, and it's going to be like 5 minutes have passed, kind of like a Chimera or Palace Invasion type thing, or even Dressrosa type thing, where like time moves very slowly. I hope that the pacing doesn't fall to where it's like only 2 seconds have passed. Although in Hunter x Hunter that was pretty epic. I really liked how it all took place in like a small moment of time, but I don't know how well that would work for Wano and for the raid. But yeah. Also, another thing I want to mention is I really liked Luffy and Yamato's interaction when Yamato's like, yeah, I know you want him for yourself, right? You want to defeat him yourself, and Luffy just starts like grinning. I found that really nice, and I feel like that really leads to Yamato joining the Straw Hats, because Yamato really understands Luffy like most of the Straw Hats do. And like I feel like their connection, or like not their connection, but how like Yamato really knows him, and I feel like we already knew before that Yamato was probably gonna join, and now I feel like it's just more than inevitable. Like I guess they're like Carrot fans, and like maybe both of them will join, but you can't deny the fact that Yamato is going to join. And if the arc ends and he doesn't join, then well, I guess I'll bite my words, okay? But yeah, for now it seems like he will. Also, Kaido is using his powers his dragon powers, to conjure clouds to move Onigashima, and if he starts to get weaker, then that power also gets weaker, and the Onigashima will stop and fall to the ground, which is very interesting, because if that happens, then that's just leading up to Momo holding up Onigashima, right? That's just leading up to it. So what I'm predicting is going to happen is that Momo's going to try everything he can to push it back, but it won't work, and then pretty much Kaido gets defeated, and as he gets defeated, Luffy's like, oh, what's happening, or whatever, and then Onigashima starts to fall to the ground, and everyone thinks all hope is lost. They defeated Kaido, they won, except, they really, because they're all about to die. But then Momonosuke, he comes in, swoops in, and holds up Onigashima, so that everyone can survive. That's my guess. That's what I think is going to happen. Which, like that, yeah, I feel like that would be cool. But besides from that, there's really only one other thing that I really want to talk about, and that is King. Now, King is like one thing I never really gave any thought to was King, what King actually looked like behind his like mask or whatever. I kind of just assumed that's like what he looked like, but apparently it's a mask, and he really doesn't want people to see what he looks like. Usually when characters don't show their face or their face is hidden, it usually means that there's something like to hide, right? Now Oda, that usually leads to two things. Okay, whenever a character hides their face. One, it's a character we already know. Or B, I don't know. Okay, one, it's a character we already know. Or two, it's a character with a really goofy design. And I feel like that that second option makes a lot of sense for King. That like he has this, like he's one of the coolest looking. He has one of the coolest designs in Wano. Arguably, like in the series, he's really like sleek, you know. It's really cool. But of course, if he takes his mask off and he has this really weird face, you know, kind of it gives me like Duval vibes. Remember him from Sabaudi? Like he had that mask on, but when he took it off, he was like really goofy looking. I'm thinking maybe the same will happen here, but at the same time, I am kind of hoping that we got a return of a character we haven't seen in a while, because I love those. When it's a character, I was like, oh, I forgot about you, but you're here. So yeah, now from the panel at the very end showing King with part of his mask off, well, not off, but like part of it like cracked off, then we see that he has like most likely like blonde hair and maybe darker skin. I can't really tell that much, but when it comes to characters with blonde hair, the one, I don't know why, I first thought of Don Krieg, even though Don Krieg, he does not have blonde hair. He has like what, purple hair or like bluish hair. Like I don't know why I thought of him, but for some reason I just thought Don Krieg, which is funnily enough, when I first saw Duval for the first time, when I first saw him with the mask, I thought he was good. I was so confident that it would be Don Krieg. I was so confident, but then it wasn't. It was, you know, it was him. But yes, so like Don Krieg, I don't think it actually is him, but for some reason that was one of my first thoughts. But something kind of related to Don Krieg is Jin, which Jin is a character that so many fans have been waiting for to come back. It's like seemingly like he was obviously a highlight moment of Baratier, but at the same time, I doubt he's gonna play like I don't know, like at this point the stakes are too high and everything's so like amped up that I doubt Jin's gonna come back. Maybe in like a cover story eventually, but I don't know. But if it is him, then the fans are gonna go insane. Although I don't see why it would be Jin. Is he a Lunarian now? Is King even a Lunarian? Maybe that was a lie. Maybe he isn't. Right? I don't know. But speaking of blonde characters, one potential candidate is Bellamy, but at the same time, we had that cover story of him like learning how to make Jolly Rogers, I think, and then he was like making one for the Straw Hat Grand Fleet or something like that. But yeah, so that's one thing. Although it being Bellamy is very unlikely. And in terms of other blonde characters, I don't know. I can't really think of any. Maybe it's maybe it's Brooks' old captain of the Rumbar Pirates, because he was implied to have died, but they didn't actually show his death, which is kind of strange. So maybe it's him, but who knows? I don't want to like pointlessly speculate about a character who might not even be one we already know, right? But I don't know how long Oda's gonna hold this off, because we obviously got a cliffhanger here of like King's finally starting to like show his face a little, or like not, he will obviously not willingly, but he is kind of showing his face. And you know, let's tune in to see what it looks like. But who knows? Maybe next chapter it'll be focused on something completely different, and we won't see King again for another like 5 chapters. Who knows? When is Act 3 gonna end? Your guess is as good as mine. I thought it would be kind of soon, but looking at it now, there's probably still a good like 20 plus chapters left, probably. And that's assuming if Act 3 ends with the raid. Okay, Act 3 has two possible ways of ending. If this is a 5 act structure, Act 3 ends with Luffy starting to battle, or Kaido and Luffy doing their like actual battle seriously, like they're both battling like at their hardest, or the raid failing, and then Act 4 is them coming back and winning. Now, I honestly don't think the raid's gonna fail. That, to me, that's very unlikely. But for like Luffy and Kaido actually like going into their battle, who knows? At first I thought that it was going to be whenever Luffy got back on the roof, but that clearly happened, and Act 3 has still not ended, and they're similarly like putting up more and more plot threads. Like, if Act 3 was right about to end, then why would they like introduce, well, maybe, I don't know, I'm not good at like analyzing stuff, but for me Act 3 isn't going to end for a little bit. I feel like we're going to see King, this is such a different thing, because what separated the other acts is that this is like the raid's going to continue on to Act 4 probably. So it's weird, it's kind of hard to decide when Act 3 is going to end if when we come back we're still going to be at the raid, right? Unless the raid ends and then Act 3 finishes, which then, I don't know. But yeah, King, I don't know who it's going to be, who he's going to be. My bet, like, if I want it to be a character we haven't seen in a while, like a return, but if I had to place a bet on it, I think it's a new character with just funny design or something. Or maybe it's like a cool character too, who knows. I mean, it seemed like he had a reason for hiding his face, which to me that would imply that he's like really weird looking, but I don't know. Also, I haven't read any of the Viver Card data books, and I don't really remember much of the information they said about King. I don't know how long he's been with the Beast Pirates, or how long like he's just known Kaido in general, because that might make it impossible for it to be a return of a character, but I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.